What kind of man emerges stronger, sharper, and more formidable with each passing year of solitude? While the masses clamor for external validation, scrolling endlessly through social media, bending to societal expectations, and measuring their worth by the approval of others, the Sigma male follows a radically different path. He doesn't just endure solitude, he weaponizes it. While others wither in isolation, he transforms it into a forge where his mind, will, and presence are tempered into something unbreakable. This is no accident. Modern psychology confirms what the Sigma has always known intuitively: solitude is not deprivation, it's amplification. Studies on high-performing individuals reveal that extended periods of alone time dramatically enhance self-awareness, creative problem-solving, and emotional resilience. Where the average man grows restless without constant social stimulation, the Sigma male thrives in the quiet. He doesn't merely pass time alone, he invests it. Every unshared hour becomes fuel for mastery, whether in skills, financial independence, or intellectual pursuits. Coding, philosophy, martial arts, investing, these are the disciplines he conquers while others drown in distractions. But the Sigma's edge runs deeper than mere productivity. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology demonstrates that self-reflective solitude rewires the brain itself, strengthening emotional regulation and reducing stress reactivity. While the herd exhausts itself chasing fleeting dopamine hits from likes, matches, and empty social validation, the Sigma's mind becomes a precision instrument. He observes his emotions without being ruled by them. He navigates chaos with eerie calm. And this emotional mastery doesn't just stabilize him, it radiates outward, creating an almost gravitational pull. Here lies the paradox: in an era where oversharing is the norm, the man who says less commands more attention. Mystery is magnetic. When everyone else broadcasts their every thought and insecurity, the Sigma's silence becomes a blank canvas onto which others project their fascination. His unpredictability isn't randomness, it's strategic restraint. He knows that power flows to those who can't be easily read, who reveal themselves only when it serves their purpose. And this is where the Sigma transcends mere independence, he achieves sovereignty. While most men unconsciously conform to social scripts, chasing marriage timelines, suburban ideals, or corporate ladders to prove their worth, the Sigma rewrites the rules themselves. His solitude isn't about rejecting the world, but about outgrowing its limitations. He doesn't fear loneliness because he's discovered something far more potent: the unshakable certainty that comes from total alignment with one's purpose. This is why the Sigma male doesn't just endure solitude, he's refined by it. Where others see emptiness, he finds endless potential. Every year spent single isn't a delay in his life's trajectory, it's an acceleration. While the world warns that being alone is a weakness, the Sigma proves it's the ultimate advantage. The longer he walks his path undisturbed, the more he becomes something extraordinary, a man who needs nothing, but is capable of everything. The lesson is clear: solitude isn't the absence of others, it's the presence of yourself at full strength. And for the Sigma male, that's the only company that ever truly matters. Number 1. His mind becomes a weapon. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and emotional clutter, the Sigma male's mind becomes a rare and powerful tool. When he steps away from the whirlwind of dating drama, performative texting, and the mental exhaustion of trying to keep up, something incredible happens: his brain starts firing on a different level. Unburdened by the constant demands of maintaining a relationship or seeking external validation, he begins to sharpen his mental edge. While others are chasing likes, playing social games, or lost in endless emotional loops, the Sigma retreats into silence, and that silence becomes his forge. It's here that he upgrades his thinking, hones his focus, and begins to engineer his life with precision. This isn't passive solitude, it's active refinement. He devours books not just for entertainment but for evolution. He listens to podcasts, studies philosophies, and follows thinkers like Naval Ravikant, Jordan Peterson, or Cal Newport, not for trivia, but for transformation. Every idea, every insight, becomes a tool in his arsenal. It's like upgrading his mental operating system daily, optimizing for clarity, discipline, and depth. Science validates this. A 2019 study published in Intelligence found a link between solitude and higher cognitive engagement, especially in introverted and introspective men. These are the types who spend their quiet hours reading, planning, reflecting, activities that foster critical thinking, resilience, and emotional regulation. In short, solitude helps Sigma males turn their minds into weapons. That time alone becomes a personal lab where he dissects his past, strategizes his future, and aligns every decision with his long-term vision. He's not isolating to hide, he's isolating to prepare. While the world scrolls aimlessly, he builds deliberately. His growth is invisible at first, but unmistakable once revealed. And when he does enter the room, it shows. He's not the loudest, but he's the most composed. He speaks when it matters, and when he does, people listen. His charisma doesn't come from effort, it comes from depth. He doesn't perform for attention. He commands it through presence. There's a weight to his silence and a precision in his words that others simply can't match. That mysterious, unshakable aura? It's not an act, it's the product of consistent, internal work. Others may not understand what makes him different, but they feel it. He's calm in chaos, intentional in action, and hard to predict. That unpredictability isn't chaos, it's mastery. Because while others focus on being liked, the Sigma focuses on being effective. In the shadows, he becomes dangerous, not in a destructive way, but in the way that brilliance becomes undeniable. The world won't always see the work he puts in, but they will feel its effects. That's the Sigma advantage. While others spend their energy chasing what's fleeting, he becomes the one worth chasing. Number 2, he taps into total freedom. For the Sigma male, freedom is far more than just doing what you want, it's the gateway to truly discovering who you are at the deepest level. While many see being single as a void to be filled, the Sigma male experiences it as a powerful form of liberation. To him, solitude isn't punishment, it's opportunity. It's in those quiet spaces, free from obligations and emotional entanglements, that he reconnects with his core self, his values, his instincts, his potential. When he's not tied to someone else's calendar, mood, or expectations, he doesn't merely gain time, he takes ownership of it. There's no need to constantly negotiate, explain, or compromise. His time is his own to mold. That's not laziness, it's intentional living. He gets to prioritize what matters most to him without guilt or hesitation. Whether that means waking up at 4 a.m. to work out, diving into a creative project for 12 hours straight, or taking an impromptu road trip to clear his mind, it's all done on his own terms. This level of autonomy isn't just functional, it's transformational. Sigma males are introspective by nature. They use solitude not to escape life but to refine it. A 2022 study in personality and individual differences found that individuals who actively embrace solitude tend to experience greater self-reflection and personal growth. For the Sigma, alone time isn't something to avoid, it's the secret weapon in his development. And it's not just about freedom of time or movement, it's about freedom of purpose. With no emotional energy spent managing someone else's feelings or maintaining superficial harmony, he can channel all that bandwidth into becoming sharper, stronger, and wiser. He can relocate to a new city without permission, take risks others can't afford, or dive deep into a new skill like martial arts, writing, coding, or learning a language. His life becomes a tailor-made adventure. Importantly, this isn't about rejecting relationships or intimacy out of fear. It's about choosing independence out of alignment. There's a massive difference between avoiding connection and valuing autonomy. Sigma males don't avoid love, but they're unwilling to compromise self-mastery for it. Unless a relationship adds depth to his journey, it has no place in his life. This idea aligns with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where self-actualization sits at the pinnacle. For most, this is a lofty ideal, but for the Sigma, it's a mission. He thrives on pushing past limits, redefining success, and reaching a state where he's not just surviving, he's evolving. So while society often pressures men to find a partner, settle down, and define success through relationships, the Sigma male rewrites that narrative. His life isn't about ticking boxes, it's about creating meaning. He doesn't seek someone to complete him because he's already whole. And that's the key, when a Sigma male is single, he isn't lacking, he's building. Constructing a life so rich, so intentional, that love would need to be extraordinary just to be allowed in. Number 3, he builds emotional intelligence alone. There's a common belief that emotional growth happens mainly through romantic relationships. People assume you need a partner to trigger your insecurities, challenge your emotional blind spots, and help you grow. But Sigma males live by a different code. They know that the deepest emotional development doesn't require a relationship, it requires honest solitude. When a Sigma male is single, he doesn't distract himself with temporary flings or emotional roller coasters. He turns inward. And in that stillness, something rare and powerful happens, self-confrontation. Without anyone around to blame or project onto, he's forced to face his raw, unfiltered self. There's no one to rescue him from his flaws, no one to justify his insecurities. Just the mirror, and the man looking back. This process can be uncomfortable, even brutal. But it's in that discomfort that transformation occurs. Psychologists call it self-confrontation, and research supports its value. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Personality found that individuals who engage in intentional self-reflection develop stronger emotional intelligence, greater resilience, and a deeper understanding of their behavioral patterns. They don't just feel emotions, they understand them. And that's exactly what Sigma males cultivate in solitude. Every moment of loneliness becomes a lesson. Every emotional trigger becomes an opportunity to analyze his programming. Sigmas don't suppress emotions, they decode them. Why did that situation bother him? What belief caused that fear? Where does that insecurity stem from? This internal analysis becomes a toolset, a mental compass. Over time, he learns to regulate his emotional responses, stay grounded under pressure, and lead himself through chaos with clarity. What he gains from this is something few ever achieve: emotional sovereignty. It's the ability to walk into any situation, social, romantic, professional, and remain undisturbed. He's not reactive because he's already resolved the war within. He doesn't crumble when criticized or become needy in relationships because his sense of self isn't outsourced, it's internalized. That kind of groundedness can't be gifted by a partner. It's forged in solitude. So when others assume he's missing out by being single, they couldn't be more wrong. While they rely on others to complete them, the Sigma becomes complete on his own. Every quiet night spent alone, every difficult emotion faced head-on, every realization born from introspection, these are the building blocks of a man who's emotionally bulletproof. And when he finally chooses to step into a relationship, he doesn't enter as someone looking to be healed, he enters as someone whole. That's not just emotional maturity. That's power. Number 4, he levels up his physical presence. When a Sigma male is single, he's not skipping the gym for clingy dates or losing sleep over emotional drama. His time, energy, and focus are all directed inward, not in a selfish way, but in a deeply intentional one. Rather than being drained by arguments, compromises, or late-night texting marathons, he channels his power into becoming stronger, sharper, and more resilient, mentally and physically. This process has nothing to do with vanity. It's not about impressing others or chasing validation. It's about mastery. Sigma males understand one fundamental truth: their body is the instrument through which every action, goal, and mission is executed. A weak body leads to a scattered mind, but a disciplined physique is the foundation of control. Biologically, physical training boosts testosterone, enhances mood, improves mental clarity, and increases grit, all vital traits for the self-reliant, high-performing Sigma. And science backs this up. According to the American Psychological Association, consistent physical activity doesn't just build muscle, it enhances executive functions like decision-making, focus, and planning. These are the core strengths Sigma males already tend to excel at, and when combined with physical discipline, they elevate his entire presence. Every workout becomes more than exercise, it becomes a form of moving meditation, a ritual of self-discipline. Every healthy meal, every 5 a.m. alarm, is a declaration: I own myself. His physical evolution doesn't stop at fitness, it extends to how he presents himself to the world. His wardrobe is curated with precision. Not for flash or trends, but for alignment. He wears clean, sharp, minimalist clothes because he understands that how you present yourself can either distract or enhance. Research shows that dressing intentionally increases confidence and boosts how others perceive your intelligence and capability. But here's the Sigma twist: he doesn't dress to impress, he dresses to express his inner clarity and focus. And that's the paradox: he's not trying to stand out, but his very refusal to seek attention makes him magnetic. Human psychology is wired to admire those who are self-contained. People instinctively gravitate toward those who exude calm, unbothered confidence. The Sigma male doesn't try to dominate the room, but when he walks in, his silent presence is felt. Upright posture. Unrushed movements. A gaze that doesn't seek approval, but scans, observes, and understands. He may not say a word, but people sense it: this man is on a mission. His strength doesn't come from bravado. It comes from consistency. From showing up for himself day after day when no one else is watching. And ironically, that's when people begin to watch. Not because he chased attention, but because he earned respect. That's the quiet power of a Sigma male's physical presence: it's built, not broadcast. Number 5, he masters the art of detachment. Detachment is one of the Sigma male's greatest strengths, and one of the most misunderstood. Most people confuse detachment with indifference, assuming it means coldness or emotional numbness. But for the Sigma, detachment is not about shutting down, it's about seeing clearly. It's about maintaining emotional control without becoming entangled in chaos or codependency. Unlike others who spiral into anxiety over texts, mixed signals, or emotional games, the Sigma male remains composed. He doesn't need constant reassurance or overanalyze every interaction. Instead, he observes. He watches patterns, picks up on subtle emotional cues, and maintains a steady emotional baseline. He doesn't react impulsively, he responds strategically. This gives him a psychological edge in relationships, business, and life. Science backs this up. Studies in emotional regulation show that people who practice mindful detachment, those who can pause, reflect, and disengage from emotional chaos, have stronger decision-making abilities, less stress, and higher resilience. And that's exactly what defines the Sigma. He doesn't depend on others to determine how he feels. He governs himself. That's real freedom, and it unsettles people who rely on attention to feel secure. Because here's the truth, the Sigma male is comfortable in silence. He doesn't chase replies. He doesn't fear being alone. He doesn't crumble when someone pulls away. Why? Because he has mastered the art of non-attachment. This isn't about being heartless, it's about not being ruled by outcomes. Whether someone stays or leaves doesn't shake his identity. Whether a situation works out or falls apart doesn't define his worth. That's emotional independence at its highest level. And here's where detachment becomes power. The Sigma male can walk away from anything that no longer serves him, without hesitation, without bitterness, and without fear. He doesn't cling. He doesn't beg. He simply lets go. That energy, calm, grounded, and self-contained, commands respect. People don't understand it, but they feel it. They sense the quiet strength of a man who doesn't need anything from them. And ironically, that draws them in even more. While others chase control, validation, and constant emotional stimulation, the Sigma stays steady. He doesn't panic in silence. He doesn't fold under pressure. He doesn't fight for approval. He remains clear-headed, detached, and intentional. Detachment isn't weakness, it's self-mastery. It's the ability to choose your responses rather than being enslaved by emotional triggers. In a world addicted to attention and chaos, the Sigma male's detachment is radical. It's revolutionary. And it's a sign of a man who's not just surviving the noise, but rising above it. Number 6, he learns to love without needing. Here's the paradox that most people don't understand: the Sigma male doesn't avoid love, he just doesn't need it to survive. That simple shift changes everything. In a world obsessed with finding the one, where people measure their value by whether they're single or coupled up, the Sigma male walks a different path. His fulfillment isn't dependent on relationship status. He doesn't crave someone to complete him because he's already done the work to complete himself. This emotional independence doesn't mean he's emotionally shut off. In fact, it's the opposite. Sigma males are often more emotionally intelligent and self-aware than those who constantly chase connection to avoid being alone. While society glorifies constant romantic entanglement, the Sigma thrives in solitude, not because he's emotionally unavailable, but because he's emotionally self-sufficient. He's spent time understanding himself, confronting his fears, and building internal stability. That allows him to enter love from a place of wholeness, not lack. Psychologically, this aligns with what experts call a secure attachment style. Unlike the anxious partner who clings or the avoidant who pushes people away, the Sigma male is grounded. He's not chasing after affection to soothe his insecurities, nor is he running from emotional connection to protect his ego. The longer he remains single, the more refined his perception of love becomes. He learns to distinguish between attachment, which often comes from fear, insecurity, or dependency, and true affection, which is freely given without desperation. This clarity gives rise to emotional power. The Sigma male learns to spot the difference between neediness and presence. Neediness is about filling a void. It's desperate, consuming, and unstable. Presence, on the other hand, is about showing up fully, without needing anyone to complete you. That mindset is not only healthy, it's magnetic. Because confidence without neediness is rare in modern dating. So when a Sigma finally offers love, it's not a reaction to loneliness, it's a conscious, deliberate act. He doesn't fall into relationships to escape being alone. He chooses love when it aligns with his values, his direction, and his inner truth. He evaluates, not chases. He doesn't settle out of fear, he selects from a place of insight and depth. That makes him stand out. In today's world of instant gratification and shallow swipes, the Sigma male represents something uncommon: depth, patience, and emotional clarity. Studies in interpersonal psychology confirm that people are naturally drawn to partners who are autonomous and authentic, two traits the Sigma male has in abundance. When he chooses to love someone, it's not out of desperation, it's because he sees them. Their essence. Their energy. Their alignment with his path. So no, the Sigma male doesn't reject love, he redefines it. He elevates it beyond the realm of need, into the realm of choice. And that kind of love? It's rare. It's powerful. And it's worth waiting for. Number 7, he develops an unbreakable mission. The moment distractions are removed, the fog lifts. The noise quiets. And what's left is the raw, unfiltered truth, purpose. For the Sigma male, solitude isn't loneliness, it's the forge where clarity is born. In the absence of superficial relationships, fleeting pleasures, or the validation loop, the Sigma reconnects with something deeper, his mission. Psychological research has long supported the power of solitude in shaping identity. Studies from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology highlight how time spent alone improves focus, increases creativity, and enhances self-awareness. And that's exactly what the Sigma male taps into. In stillness, he sees the bigger picture. He's not distracted by shallow approval. His energy is no longer scattered. It's channeled. And then the real transformation begins. Purpose becomes his anchor, his compass. Neuroscience confirms that having a clear why activates the brain's reward system, particularly the release of dopamine, which fuels motivation, goal setting, and long-term focus. This isn't just ambition, it's neurochemical drive. And a Sigma male, armed with solitude and clarity, becomes a man you can't derail. His actions become laser-focused. His time is protected. His priorities are non-negotiable. He doesn't need to broadcast his goals to feel important. He doesn't rant about dreams on social media. He simply moves. He executes. Every day becomes a brick in the empire he's building. Whether it's business, creativity, fitness, or legacy, his mission gives him momentum that others can't replicate, because it's not built on ego, it's built on alignment. And this makes him dangerous, in the best possible way. Because a man with a mission is not easily swayed. He doesn't chase distractions. He doesn't fold under pressure. He doesn't get lost in shallow validation. He sees through the noise, stays on course, and becomes unshakable. So when people ask, "Why are you still single?" the Sigma doesn't defend himself, he smiles. Because while others are busy performing, he's building. While others waste energy chasing temporary highs, he's laying the foundation for a legacy. They can't see the storm he's crafting behind the scenes. The silence that's sharpening his focus. The solitude that's molding him into a man of substance. Being single isn't his weakness, it's his weapon. A tool he wields with wisdom, intention, and power. Number 8, he becomes mysteriously attractive. Mystery is one of the most powerful forms of attraction, and Sigma males embody it effortlessly. In a world that's constantly oversharing, chasing attention, and broadcasting every thought online, the Sigma does something radical. He pulls back. He doesn't announce his every move or seek applause for his lifestyle. He isn't addicted to likes, comments, or digital validation. And because of that, he becomes enigmatic, someone who naturally commands curiosity without even trying. Psychologists refer to this as the curiosity gap, a phenomenon where the less you know about someone, the more your mind fills in the blanks with fascination. The Sigma's silence creates this effect. His absence from the spotlight isn't due to insecurity, it's intentional. He knows that withholding isn't manipulation, it's control. It makes every word he speaks and every move he makes feel intentional, rare, and worth paying attention to. What adds to his mystique is his emotional autonomy. While many men fluctuate based on external praise or social comparison, the Sigma male's sense of self remains rooted. His presence is calm, steady, and unshakable. He doesn't explode with drama or seek emotional reassurance. And that inner stillness becomes magnetic. People, especially women, feel drawn to it. Not because he's trying to be desirable, but because he's not trying at all. That lack of performative behavior creates a gravitational pull. When the Sigma does choose to open up, it feels meaningful. It's not another shallow post or emotional outburst, it's a window into a mind that's been carefully cultivated through silence, self-reflection, and solitude. His story isn't told loudly. It's sensed through energy, eye contact, and presence. Every rare glimpse he gives into his life or thoughts feels valuable, like discovering a hidden chapter in a book you can't put down. While the masses chase social approval, bouncing from trend to trend, the Sigma male retreats to evolve. He disappears not out of avoidance, but for refinement. He returns sharper, wiser, more powerful. And people notice. Not because he demands attention, but because evolution speaks louder than ego. He becomes the enigma everyone wants to understand, but no one can quite pin down. And in that mystery lies his undeniable power. Because we're naturally drawn to what we can't fully grasp. The Sigma male doesn't force attraction, he becomes it. Final notes. This version maintains your original intensity while improving readability, flow, and grammatical accuracy. Each point is now sharper, with smoother transitions and stronger impact. Thank you for watching.